One of the most acclaimed black directors in cinema history has died. It was a couple of days ago reported that John Singleton had suffered a stroke. Uh, but the sad news is that he has died from complications from that stroke. He was only 51 years old, and that age really kind of strikes me because that was the same age James Gandolfini was. Of course, he was most known for playing Tony Soprano on The Sopranos, long-running HBO series. He was only 51 years old himself when he suffered that myocardial infarction, aka heart attack, on June 20th, 2013. He was only 51 years old, and 51 years old is too young to be succumbing to those types of maladies. Okay. Um, Stroke, I believe, is the third leading cause of death in this country behind heart disease and cancer. I believe it's the third leading cause of death. I know diabetes has really been rising, but strokes are preventable and they are somewhat treatable. Um, One third of all stroke victims unfortunately pass away. Usually, the ones that survive are younger people. So it leads me to believe that John Singleton had a severe stroke. Apparently, he began suffering from, I think it was leg weakness on a return trip from Costa Rica. I believe it was, I read. Um, but John Singleton, read from the article, I'm going to put a link to it in the description. Two-time Oscar nominee for his debut film Boys in the Hood, which launched the careers of Cuba Gooding Jr. and revitalized the career of Lawrence Fishburne and launched the career of Ice Cube. If you think about it, it wasn't for John Singleton, maybe we wouldn't have never had the Friday franchise or the Barbershop franchise. You know, um, so shout out to Mr. Singleton for that. Reading from the article now, he was a benchmark in filmmaking, and his voice spoke to an audience with black storytelling that had never been seen or heard. He shined a light on black narratives in the 90s, adding his pioneering voice to the need for inclusive voices in the industry. Now, I agree with that. Of course, him, along with Spike Lee before him, they told the story from a black perspective, whereas prior to that, you might have had black movies, but oftentimes the person directing was a non-black. And that's not to denigrate another race. It's just that you don't have a Jewish person. Okay, put it like this. You don't want Woody Allen directing The Godfather. Okay, you want a guy who is Italian heritage. Okay, that's the only point we're trying to make. You know what I'm saying? Every other race, they're able to uh, tell a story from their perspective, and we say the same thing. All of a sudden, we're oh, you guys are racist. Stop pulling that shit. So, reading from the article a little bit more. Of course, John Singleton, known for Boys in the Hood, that was his breakthrough debut film. Poetic Justice later on. Um, also before that, Boys in the Hood also starred Morris Chestnut, Regina King, Nia Long, and Angela Bassett. And all of their careers were revitalized because, or started in the case of Nia Long, because of this film. Um, of course, Boys in the Hood followed three men as they navigated their lives through the obstacles of race, violence, cultural identity, and relationships in LA's Crenshaw neighborhood. Later on, of course, there was Poetic Justice, which starred the late great Tupac Shakur, Janet Jackson, and Joe Torre. And then, of course, later on, you had Higher Learning, which reunited Singleton with Ice Cube and Lawrence Fishburne, and also starred Omar Epps, uh, LeBron fans' nemesis Michael Rappaport, the beautiful Jennifer Connelly. Oh my God, do I love that woman. Christy Swanson and Tyra Banks. And this will be followed up by numerous films, including Rosewood, probably my personal favorite film that he's ever made, Baby Boy, which was very successful, and later on, The Four Brothers. Um, he served as producer of the critically acclaimed Southern hip hop film Hustle and Flow, which starred future Empire leads Taraji P. Henson and Terrence Howard. He even lent his voice to prominent Hollywood IP, including the Shaft remake in 2000 and Too Fast, Too Furious in 2003. Um, Singleton continued to be a voice in film and TV, championing the black community, encouraging studios to let them get behind the camera. John Singleton, he will sorely miss. John Singleton, dead at the age of 51.